Oh, good morning. We made it through the night, and just making ourselves a nice cup of coffee here. Get our day started. Okay, so this is kind of cool. We're up here. You can see where the water is now, and the tide is on the way out. Here's probably a few days ago where the tide line was when it came up. It looks like we got another day there, and I think last night was right here. And I believe it was full. I woke up about 4 in the morning real quick, and I could hear the waves coming in just up behind the vans. So how these tides go in terms of timing is this Bay of Fundy tide takes about 12 and a half hours to go from full to full. So 6 hours and 15 minutes to go from here, where it was last night, to way the hell out there, where it's going to end up here in about another 3 hours, and then another 6 hours and 15 minutes to get in here again. Every day it might vary. It might be a foot or two difference. But generally, if you look at the timing of it, if today it's full at noon, it will be full again at 12:30 at night, and then it will be full the next day at 1. So I remember when I used to live here working, thinking about the tides. If it was full one day at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the next day it's going to be full at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The next day, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you were chasing the tides around or wanted to go see, or I mean, a lot of things in this area is dependent on the tide. The fishing, all the boating. If you can't take a boat from here, you got to wait till the tide's in, then you got to go out, and you better get back before the tide's gone, or you have to stay out until the tide eventually comes back in and allows you to get the boat in. So it's pretty interesting. The tides are definitely part of life here, part of the culture, part of life, and part of the daily. I mean, it's unavoidable how much of you and your daily experience the tides become. It's very, very cool. So what we're going to do today is we're going to head up to a place named Halls Harbour. Has some of the highest tides, no, has the highest tides in the world. Has the highest tides in the world. It's on this Bay of Fundy. It's just the way the water will come in and out at different areas kind of dictates how high the tide's going to be. It's all massive, no matter where you are. Oh, my shoe. We're down here at Blomidon Provincial Park, which is just up the road from where we stayed last night. Ended up having a couple coffees this morning with our neighbor that we met. Safe travels to her. She's heading back to Halifax and then eventually back home here over the next chunk of days. But the plan was this morning we were going to get over to Halls Harbour for low tide and then back later on this afternoon for high tide. We ended up not sticking to that plan, which is all right, but so we're going to hang out here for a little bit and then make our way. High tide at Halls Harbour is in about 3 hours, so we're going to just poke around for a little bit and slowly make our way over there and check that out. Let's do it. Whoa. I totally forgot to mention this earlier. But right out there, as tide's coming in, you can see those rocks out there. That used to be the arches. And it was there forever. There were two big arches, almost like that one in Utah. And you can see there's all some ground there now, but when the tide comes right in, it used to be a big arch, and you could take your kayak and zoom underneath it and through it. But wild. There was a hurricane maybe 10 years ago, and that made them weak, and then there was a really big storm. The waves were crazy, and that was it. They fell down. So, but right there, that was them. They're not there anymore. Really sad. Crazy. Well, we're almost at high tide here. Bay of Fundy, we got kind of the other coast of Nova Scotia over that way, and then it's a little gray out here, but we got New Brunswick right out over there. On a clear day, you can see over to New Brunswick. Tide's probably full in about half an hour, 45 minutes, I think it said. So you see those waves just generally, those waves slowly inching their way higher up here. We're going to walk out to the end of the wharf here. Yeah, water's up pretty high. Kind of a gray day, but what I've learned is gray days are good for taking pictures. Really cool with the tide coming in. We're going to go up and take a look at the bridge there that did get washed out with that hurricane, with a hurricane, about 5-6 years ago. We came across it there. It's a new bridge. Looks like there's quite a bit of work going on, but that road was all closed for a while. I will go up there, check that out, and check out these boats that are docked out here. This is a working lobster dock, wharf, and we'll go check out this restaurant, the Lobster Town. As I stumble my way along the beach here too, I am looking for a few pieces of driftwood for a couple things I want to put in the van. So if I see something that's going to work, I'll probably grab that. It's not too bad. I've been down here and there's been just a bunch of garbage too. I mean, it's unfortunate, but that's the way the tides work. If anything falls off a boat or gets thrown out off a dock, out of anywhere, it ends up going out there and then get pushed back in. But looks pretty good. Looks really good. I know they have big cleanups a few times a year. I've actually come down here with a bucket, picked up a bunch of stuff. Okay, we're gonna give this a try. Never tried this before, but yeah, we're at we're in Halls Harbour at the Lobster Pound, and let me tell you, obviously it's closed, but when it's open, if you get the chance to come on down here and grab a lobster, unbelievable. They bring them in just over on the other side here. We'll go check that out. The little cookhouse there, they steam them up or boil them up right in there, and then there's a restaurant in here, unreal. There's a little couple of little side shacks. There's a guy that sells, he makes and sells little cigar box guitars, which are pretty cool. But yeah, this is it, Halls Harbour. High tide's almost upon us. We'll check this out. We'll do a little walk across the bridge and around and see what they look like, and then we'll come back here at low tide and take another look. Just see how things change, how it just changed the whole spot. Anyway, yeah, Lobster Pound, Halls Harbour. Let's do it. All right, yeah, and this is the new bridge up here, and I just remembered. I said before it was the hurricane that did this, but it was not. It was a crazy rainstorm we had here about 2 or 3 summers ago, and I think Nova Scotia, or parts of Nova Scotia, got like 300 to 400 mil of rain in the afternoon. And I guess this river, it was high tide, so it was up like this or higher, and this river just flooded up, and just when it low tide came, it just came ripping through here and destroyed all of this. This whole bridge was out. So as you can see, fancy new bridge, but I guess this whole side would have been cut off from this whole side. It's a little crazy to think about. Looks like that's the old footpath that got torn right off. It's still kind of hanging out there. We got this way. Go down here. So pretty wild. I mean, there's been a lot over the last few years in Nova Scotia. Always has been, but just the last few years, just Mother Nature, you know, ripping us a new one here and there with just some of the natural damages going on. Elma, come here. Come over here. Sorry, there's a car coming. Got to get Elma over here. Elma, over here. Good girl. Okay, sit. We got all the lobster traps. Tide's coming in. I'm almost gonna jump on the boat. Big lobster fishing boat there, making some noise. Well, that guy was. Pretty cool boat. I almost got some new best buddies here. Oh yeah. You coming, bud? Let's go. Yeah. Good girl. It's kind of an eerie sound that boat makes over there. So anyway, that's it. High tide, Halls Harbour. We will revisit this spot tomorrow. I'm gonna head into the big town of New Minas, I think. Grab some groceries, and then we'll go find a spot to tuck it for the evening. Alma, what are you doing down there? What's going on down there? Hey, what's going on down there? It's like the banshee crying in the night. Ooh, give you bad dreams, that one. Keep it clean too. Alright, managed to grab a few pieces of driftwood here that'll help with the decor in there. Let's go, buddy. Oh, man, those shoes are muddy. Yeah. I'm gonna take one last quick look here, and we'll come back to this exact spot tomorrow. Well, here we are in the town of New Minas, the shopping center capital of the Annapolis Valley. And the Sobeys it's going to be. Yeah, we're going to pop in here, get our fixings for tomorrow night's dinner. Got to make sure I get a picture of the girl whose house I'm going to for supper tomorrow night. Used to manage the deli in this place. Checked our water level here. It's getting a little low, so I think we'll go get a full top up while we're in here getting dinner. And just looking around this place, it is a disaster. Well, loaded up with the groceries and water. Hey, bud. Yeah. Gotta load this stuff in, buddy. All right. Restock with water. That's my little system here. The water goes in there. Got a little gray tank, I guess. My washroom on the go there. And then just some cleaning supplies and propane and stuff back there. And it comes through a hose, goes up through the wall, and then comes out a little hand pump faucet there. It's fantastic. All right, yeah. Just gonna head through Wolfville. I was gonna stay there tonight, just do some side of the road camping in Wolfville, which I've done a few times before, but there is a little place out the other side, out the other end of Wolfville called the Guzzle. So maybe we'll go check that out. It's a bit of a risk on a Saturday night. There might be some people out there and might have to turn around and come back to town, but we're gonna give it a shot. All right, we're out here on the Dyke Road, heading towards the Guzzle. This is all farmland here that's been diked in to protect it from the Bay of Fundy coming in and flooding all the soil, all the land, all the dirt, everything around here. Got some chicken farms out there, just up there, the gray building there. A lot of chicken farming here in the valley. He waved. Try a couple of these farms here and then head out to the water. It looks like we might have the place all to ourselves for now. All right, just gonna back up here into place. We got somebody following us. I don't know if their plan is to stay out here too. We shall see what they're all about. I'm gonna back up the hill here. A little slopey, but that's all right. Yeah. It's getting a little dark out here. I don't know how this is all going to turn out. But we're up on these dikes. You can see the dike just kind of S around there, up towards the farm. And that is blocking all that water from seeping in there. It's been there for a long time. Van's all tucked for the evening. Whew. Well, good morning. Looks like a fairly nice morning out there. We had a little rain overnight, but looks like it may have passed, and hopefully got some blue skies heading this way. We check out where we're at here. All right, let's get out and take a look at where we stayed last night here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's nice out here. A little bit of blue sky trying to make its way in. It did rain. It's a little muddy out here. What a fantastic sleep last night, as I did the night before as well. It's funny, I always sleep really well in the van, but once I get out outside the city, it seems to do me well on the sleeping front. It's warmer out now than it was when we went to bed last night. Just coming up on the dike here. As you can see, we got this dike that runs straight up behind us, and then got the bay on this side, and farmland on this side. Head out this way. What a beautiful spot. We're just outside the town of Grand Pré and Wolfville, so we'll probably head through there quick and make our way back to Halls Harbour. I love staying out in these spots. Here's some of those pheasants. She's wondering if she can chase one of those things down. She tries. Never successful. All right, fan's been warming up, and I think we are about ready to shove on out of here. Rain came and went, but holy smokes, it's getting windy out here now. Really windy. So we're just gonna get set to cruise on out of here. But before we go, before I ever leave any of these beautiful boondocking spots out in nature, out somewhere where, you know, the locals allow people or are okay with people staying, is I always get out and check and make sure I, you know, just take a look, make sure I left things the way I found it. Didn't leave any garbage or anything sitting around outside the van or under the van. And also, I noticed this sign over here, and gotta go check it out too. All right. So the spot looks good. Haven't left any garbage. Yeah, it's a little windy. Sorry if you don't hear me well. We're gonna go. We got Alma. Alma has assumed her position. She's ready to go. We gotta go look at this sign. All right, buddy. Yeah. Okay. We're going. Couple cows up in there. Having breakfast. Elmo wants to go out and say hi. Winery on the right here. One of Nova Scotia's, if not Nova Scotia's oldest winery. Really done wonders for the whole wine industry in this area. They make some pretty good reds, just in the area in general. Some pretty good reds, some great whites, and some dynamite sparkling wines. You can see some of the vineyards. Some of this vineyard up here on the right. By. But again, maybe in the fall we'll come back and visit some vineyards. There's another winery, Mercator Winery, which is the old Murray winery that kind of fell into disarray maybe about 10-15 years ago. And it's just the climate up here with the valley and the affecting winds from the bay, and that constant movement of air really sets up beautifully for all kinds of agriculture. And just maybe in the recent 15-20 years, viticulture's really taken on. Lightfoot and Wolfville is another gorgeous winery in there. They make some pretty good wines as well. We're into the town of Wolfville. Church Brewing in there on the left. Old church that they've turned into a brewery. Great restaurant there. And we have come to the one stop sign in the town of Wolfville. I think we're just going to pop down here to the right and get out. There's a little park here. You can kind of check out the mud flats of Wolfville here when where the tide comes in along the Cornwallis River runs along through here. We got a bald eagle. super cool. And there is the Cornwallis River coming out of the Minas Basin. Getting towards low tide here in Wolfville. It's a lot of mud. There's always newcomers to this town that go out there and walk around. Get stuck. They have these mud days at the university when kids come and start university, and they come down and slide around on the mud covered in the red mud. It's all caked onto you. It's pretty cool. And out that way is Blomidon. It's that cliff that's out there. That's where we were yesterday.
Insurance Bureau of Canada. I can tell you when it comes to the cost trends and the pressures that we are seeing, those are going in the wrong direction. You know, severe weather events, those are getting worse, not better. They're getting more frequent and more expensive. Business and rising auto taxes and helping.
Alright, we made it up over the North Mountain here and dipped down towards Halls Harbour again. Got a view of the Bay of Fundy here coming around the bend. These roads in decent condition. In the winter they usually plow them pretty good, which is nice. Pulling back into the Lobster Pound parking lot. This guy's gonna let us go. Tide still looks pretty high. Higher than I thought it would be. But we'll go out here and just take a quick look around from where we were yesterday. All right, buddy, let's do it. All right, we're back. It's windy. You can see where we were yesterday up on the beach line here. Along here. Tide's going out there. Now we'll go along and check this bridge out where we were yesterday. Okay, Elma, sit. 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 Stay. Good girl. Stay. Stay. Okay. Let's go. Yeah, there's hardly anything left in there. Go check out these boats. Same boats that were here yesterday. Oh, there's an extra one in. Crazy, right down in the dirt. We couldn't see that yesterday. There's that river coming over there. Amazing. That water is gone. Check out this boat that Elmo almost jumped on yesterday. It's now way down there. Here's where those guys were throwing rocks yesterday. Came over to this dock, but I remember yesterday this was looking pretty unsafe. So they got it all blocked off with picnic tables. Obviously, the water comes all the way up to here. They got the break wall, there's driftwood all the way up to here. Down on this beach. Hey, Emma. Pretty wild. So that whole bunch of water that was up there, way up there yesterday, I mean, we can hop over it now, right here. We crush it in. I think the tide is coming in. Pretty wild. I don't know if you can hear me, and I think it's pretty breezy, so I won't stay out here and talk. I'll get me somewhere out of the wind. It's unreal. I mean, yeah, it's right over here. We could just hop over that. No problem. Hop right over. I just think this is really super cool. Moving to the valley there 11 years ago, I'd never lived by the ocean before. My family's from Newfoundland, so I did spend some time out there growing up. Did see the Pacific. I was out west there quite a few times, but never lived on the ocean. And in the valley, I didn't really live on the ocean, obviously, but lived on this system that is just heavily, or it just kind of shows you the power of the ocean. So really cool. A couple of Cliff Clavin facts here for you. More water flows from a full tidal movement from full to empty back to full. That's more water that moves into that in that tidal flow than every river in the world combined. It's pretty amazing. And right now, as that tide comes in, and as it does, the actual crust of the earth kind of, I don't know, bends or gives a little bit. And then when the tide goes out, it kind of lifts a little bit. So the actual crust of the earth is shifting a little bit here, bending a bit with the weight of the water when it comes in. So, kind of cool. We're going to go take another quick look around. Crazy that there's a boat, a pretty big boat, way down there. I think we're going to call this a wrap here. We're going to get our groceries delivered back to Halifax for a Easter supper and call it a weekend. Thanks for coming along. I know I'm a little choppy with this video thing, and you know, I was just nervous. I don't think I'm as nervous now as I was 3 days ago, and still think I sound like a bit of a bumbling idiot, but whatever. We'll keep her rolling. Gonna see if I can edit a video or two out of this weekend and get that put up onto YouTube and see where that goes. Anyway, this is Hey Can We? And yes, we can. We're just checking things out. All right, guys. We'll see you again. I don't know who I'm saying guys to. I mean, I'm sure no one's watching. But for the one or two people that might be, we'll see you again sometime. Peace. Right, buddy?